Hello and welcome. I hope you're having a great week. And this week we're looking at chapter 9. Chapter 9. Chapter 9 is one of my favorite chapters, and I'm sure it might be yours as well. We're going to be talking about conjunctions and interjections. I don't know if any of you have ever had a chance to watch Schoolhouse Rock, but they have some really cool videos geared for kids, but adults can watch them too. And they have conjunction function with and or but. They also have interjection, which are those expression words like ouch and wow. We've talked a little bit about these briefly in week 1, but we are going to be focusing on those this week. Everyone can see my conjunction interjections PowerPoint here. The learning objectives here is to connect words, phrases, and clauses of equal grammatical value or rank using the coordinating conjunction as or and or nor and but. So we have and or nor and but. Those are the most popular conjunctions we use in everyday English. We're also punctuating compound sentence using conjunctive adverbs such as therefore, however, and consequently. We distinguish conjunctive adverbs from parenthetical adverbs. We join unequal sentence elements using subordinated conjunctions such as although, because, if, since, and when. Punctuate sentences that contain introductory dependent clauses and terminal dependent clauses. We want to punctuate sentences that contain parenthetical clauses and relative clauses. We want to recognize the correlative conjunctions such as either, or, not only, but, also, neither, nor. And then add interest to your writing by using different sentence varieties. We want to use interjections properly and professionally. Coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions connect words, phrases, and clauses of equal grammatical rank. Common coordinary conjunctions are and, or, but, and nor. Less frequently used coordinating conjunctions are yet, or, and so. In following sentences, the conjunctions are underlined and grammatically equal elements are italicized. Important leadership traits include vision, integrity, and self-confidence. The conjunction in this sentence is and. The grammatical equal elements are vision, integrity, and self-confidence. The weary traveler was gaunt and ill, for his journey had been long and arduous. The conjunction in this sentence is for. The grammatically equal elements are gant and ill and long and arduous. Coordinating conjunctions. As coordinating conjunction, the word so should be used only in formal writing or conversation. In more formal contexts, the conjunctive adverbs therefore and consequently should be substituted for the conjunction so. Informal. The position requires a writing test, so you should brush up on grammar and punctuation rules. Improved. The position requires a writing test, therefore, you should brush up on grammar and punctuation rules. To avoid using so as a conjunction, begin the sentence with because or although. Informal. Texting while driving can be dangerous, so almost all states have made this practice illegal. Improved. Because texting while driving can be dangerous, almost all states have made this practice illegal. Simple sentence. Has one independent clause. Compound sentence. Has two or more independent clauses. When coordinating conjunctions, join independent clause. in compound sentences. Place a comma before the coordinating conjunction. In the following sentences, the subject of the clause is underlined. The verb of each clause is italicized. The conjunction is set in boldface. You can pull over to respond to the text message, or you can have a fellow passenger reply to you. The subject in this sentence is you. The verbs are can pull and can have. The conjunction is or. Compound sentences, punctuating compound sentences. When coordinating conjunction and is used to connect short compound sentences, the comma can be omitted. Including the comma is acceptable as well. Examples: Nicole posted a comment and she waited for responses. Drop by my office tomorrow or you can email me. We see here using and or. Punctuating compound sentences. Do not use commas when a coordinating conjunction joins compound verbs, objects, or phrases. In the following sentence, the subject is underlined. The compound verb in the first clause and the verb in the second clause are italicized, and the coordinating conjunction is set in boldface. You can place your orders online and track your shipments with ease. In this sentence, the subject is you. The compound verb in the first clause is can place. The verb in the second clause is track. The coordinating conjunction is and. Conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs may also be used to join equal sentence elements. They are called transitional expressions or transitional conjunctions. They are used to show a transition from one thought to another and may consist of more than one word. Some of these words are also, consequently, even so, for example, for instance, furthermore, hence, however, in fact, likewise, moreover, namely, nevertheless, on the other hand, otherwise, that is, then, and therefore. Using semicolons with conjunctive adverbs. Semicolons are used before conjunctive adverbs that join independent clauses. Commas immediately follow conjunctive adverbs of two or more syllables. Commas are not used after one syllable conjunctive adverbs unless a strong pause is desired. In the following sentences, the conjunctive adverb are underlined. Some companies oppose employee use of social media in the workplace. However, other companies find that it encourages team collaboration and knowledge sharing. The conjunctive adverb in the sentence is however. The first entertainment on planes began in 1928, when Transcontinental began distributing playing cards. Then the TWA installed radios in 1939. The conjunctive adverb in this sentence is then. Distinguish conjunctive adverbs from parenthetical adverbs. Many words that function as conjunctive adverbs may also serve as parenthetical adverbs. Parenthetical adverbs are used to effect transition from one thought to another in independent clauses. Use semicolons only with conjunctive adverbs that join two independent clauses. The parenthetical adverb is underlined in the following sentence. We agree that tablets are convenient. However, many people now prefer smartphones. The parenthetical adverb in the sentence is however. Distinguishing conjunctive adverbs from parenthetical adverbs. Use commas to set off parenthetical adverbs that interrupt the flow of one independent clause. The parenthetical adverb is underlined in the following sentence. We believe, however, that tablet computer sales will slow dramatically. The parenthetical adverb in this sentence is however. Subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions join unequal sentence elements, such as dependent clauses and independent clauses. Subordinating conjunctions are also referred to by experts as dependent conjunctions. These words are after, although, as if, because, before, even though, if, in order that, since, unless, until, when, where, whether, while. One can recognize a subordinate conjunction by the way it limits or subordinates the clause it introduces. Punctuating complex sentences using subordinating conjunctions. Dependent clauses are often introduced by conjunctive adverbs such as although, since, because, when, and if. When dependent clauses precede independent clauses, they are always followed by a comma. If the dependent clause follows an independent clause, the comma is often omitted. Introductory dependent clauses. Use a comma after a dependent subordinate clause that precedes an independent clause. In the following sentence, the introductory dependent clause is underlined, and the conjunctive adverb is italicized. Even though Philo Farnsworth invented television in 1927, he didn't personally introduce it to consumers. The introductory dependent clause is, even though Philo Farnsworth invented the television in 1927. The conjunctive adverb is even though. Use a comma after introductory dependent clause, even though the subject and verb may not be stated. In the following sentence, the introductory dependent clause is underlined and conjunctive adverb is italicized. As it was expected, New England was hit with a freezing rain and sleet over the weekend. The introductory dependent clause is as expected. The conjunctive adverb is as. Dependent clauses. These are terminal dependent clauses. A dependent clause introduced by subordinating conjunction does not require a comma when the dependent clause is terminal, meaning that it falls at the end of a sentence after an independent clause. If a dependent clause at the end of a sentence interrupts the flow of the sentence, provides non-essential information, or sounds as if it were afterthought, a comma should be used. In the following sentence, the terminal dependent clause are underlined and subordinating conjunctions are italicized. We must book the conference room before we send out invitations. The terminal dependent clause is before we send out invitations. The subordinating conjunction is before. We will ship the goods within a week. If that is satisfactory with you, the terminal dependent clause is if dissatisfactory with you. The subordinating conjunction is if. A parenthetical clause adds additional information to a sentence and often begins with a subordinating conjunction. Within sentences, dependent parenthetical clauses that interrupt the flow are not needed for grammatical completeness are set off by commas. In the following sentence, the parentheticals clause is underlined and subordinating conjunction is italicized. In motion, unless you want further discussion, will be voted on now. The parenthetical clause in this sentence is unless you want further discussion. The subordinating conjunction is unless. Relative clauses. Although classified as relative pronouns, the word who, whom, whose, which, and that actually function as conjunctions when they introduce dependent clauses. Relative pronoun, the who, the whom, the whose, referred to as persons, used to introduce essential or non-essential clauses. Relative pronoun, that, used to refer to animals and objects, used to introduce essential clauses. Relative pronoun, which, used to refer to animals and objects and used to introduce non-essential clauses. Essential clauses. An essential clause is needed to identify the noun to which it refers. Commas are not used to separate this clause from the antecedent. In the following sentence, the essential clause is underlined and the relative pronoun that it refers to is italicized. Any citizen who wants to attend the presidential inauguration must register online. The essential clause in this sentence is who wants to attend the presidential inauguration. The relative pronoun that it refers to is any citizen. Non-essential clauses. A non-essential clause contains information that the reader does not need to know. Set off non-essential clauses from the rest of the sentences by commas. Careful writers use which and not that to introduce non-essential clauses. In the following sentence, the non-essential clause is underlined and the relative pronoun is italicized. Retail giant Amazon.com, which is headquartered in Seattle, sold its first book in 1995. The non-essential clause in this section is which is headquartered in Seattle. The relative pronoun is which. Punctuation review. When coordinating conjunctions, join two independent clauses. Use a comma. Independent clause plus and, or, nor, and but, plus an independent clause. When a conjunctive adverb joins two independent clauses, use a semicolon. Independent clause plus, therefore, consequently, however, and nevertheless, plus independent clause. After a dependent clause is introduced by a subordinate conjunction, use a comma. Because, if, as, and when, dependent clause plus independent clause. No comma is used when a subordinate conjunction is in the middle of a sentence. Independent clause plus because, if, as, and when, plus dependent clause. Correlative conjunction. Correlative conjunction joins dramatically equal sentence elements. Correlative conjunctions are always used in pairs, like both and, or not only, but, or also, or either, or neither, or nor. You've heard this saying, either, either, neither, neither. With subordinating conjunctions, we can say Zappos offers excellent customer service and a lenient return policy. With correlative conjunctions, we can say Zappos offers not only excellent customer service, but also a lenient return policy. Always place correlative conjunctions so that the words, phrases, or clauses being joined are parallel in construction. Not parallel. I neither have the time nor the energy for this. I have neither the time nor the energy for this. Sentence variety. Kind of sentence. Simple. Requirement. One independent clause. Example. Leah Peters found her own dessert business. Kind of sentence. Compound. Requirement. Two independent clauses. Example. Leah founded her own dessert business and she specialized in molded containers made of French chocolate. Kind of sentence. Complex. Requirement. One independent clause and one dependent clause. Example, since Leah Peters founded her own dessert business, she has specialized in molding containers made of French chocolate. Kind of sentence, compound, complex. Requirement, two independent clauses and one dependent clause. Example, Leah's chocolate designs were copywritten. Therefore, when another chocolatier copied one, she sued and won. True story. Interjections. Interjections are words or short phrases that express strong feelings but are usually unconnected grammatically to the sentence. Usually we use voice projection. You know, we have exclamation marks usually after these words, like ah, aha, alas, darn, good grief, gosh, Hey, huh? Indeed. Man, oh well. Pew. Uh, whoa. Yum. Interjections stand alone or followed by exclamation marks or question marks. Sure, you heard one say, what? The interjection in the following sentence is underlined. Yikes. I can't believe she said that. The interjection in the sentence is yikes. All right, well, this is our part 1 video. We have one more video that will be posted as well, so look out for the second video. Thank you so much, and see you next week.